someone today who's alive or tomorrow being killed or assassinated. That's inciting violence, and that is not protected speech. The speech of saying that someone who's dead, you're happy about it is, I personally think it's reprehensible. The message that me, Marshall, stances whatsoever, is it permissible, no matter what, to assassinate someone because of their words? If we can all get behind that very simple message, then we can move on. But if anybody says, well, what about this or what about that or whatever, I've got nothing less to discuss with them, because there's nothing else that I can say unless we can move forward from that point. That's my opinion.
And Steve, and I've been looking a little bit on the news because obviously this is still a little bit of a newer situation.
Yep.
And they charged him with, I think it was multiple counts, but they the ones that I've heard of, at least charges wise, was aggravated murder and then felony discharge of a weapon causing deadly, outcome was kind of the charges that was given. And they have, or at least the prosecution's asked for the death penalty to be enforced because in accordance to Utah state law, it is perfectly legal. Do you think that Mr. Tyler Robinson will indeed be facing the death penalty, or do you think that will not happen?
Let me just say this. To qualify for the death penalty, and Abby's more qualified to speak on this than me, when you are just convicted of second degree, or for that matter, even first degree murder, your chances are less likely of qualifying for the death penalty than if you have first degree murder with special circumstances. In most places, it has to do with a political motivation. It has to do with a hate crime. It has to do with killing a law enforcement officer or killing a witness. Those all can fall under the first degree murder with special circumstances. And of course, a lot of states don't have the capital punishment, but the ones that do definitely, I believe, first require special circumstances on top of the first degree murder. That's why it's so important that they got those added. That's my take.
Thank you. I don't think I have any other thing aside from one more question. Then I'll
sure go ahead.
I was here for a little bit of time. What exactly happened with the previous speaker earlier?
Which one?
I mean, I don't want to say by name, but
you can. This is not the weekend. Go ahead. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm trying to recall her name. She was interrupting you a lot. It was pretty recent. It was probably like 10 minutes ago.
You must be talking about Taro.
Yeah. Yes, Taro. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we put her down for 5 minutes. We brought her back up. She stayed for 5 or 10 minutes, and then she left. She left right after I said she would be next. So she didn't find the room enjoyable.
And that was the reason why that whole, basically outburst.
You'd have to listen to the replay. I can't regurgitate it all.
It was my fault, Christian.
Okay.
Well, it's always JCC's fault. You should know that.
Okay. Yeah.
Always JCC's fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Did we do Sean B? I think we did. Yes, we did do Sean B, or no? Sean.
Oh, I just got here. I just want to say hello.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you, Steve.
Good to hear you.
It's an honor to be in your room, and hello to my fellow Californian in this beautiful weather.
Yes, Los Angeles. Yes.
Right. I'm a conservative. I was curious if you had any specific questions, because you mentioned, you like being able to ask conservatives questions. I mean, I could speak on.
I said I like asking conservatives questions.
Maybe not that. Maybe you said you like conservatives.
No.
What's the quote?
I'll tell you exactly what I said.
Okay.
I said I like to hear opinions from all sides in a respectable manner.
Okay. Yeah. The whole racist thing that I've been hearing about Charlie Kirk has been of interest to me, and I want to be quite honest. I haven't had the opportunity to hear anything.
Let me tell you what I've heard and what I've seen. And again, I've learned more about Charlie Kirk posthumously than I did the entire time he was alive. Although I got his emails like 2-3 times a day, I just deleted them. His comments, whether or not they're in or out of context, come very, very, very close. if not going over the line of racism, but you can make an argument that they're not racist. Now, of course, what I've learned, I would never follow this guy. I would never quote this guy. He's just way out of the box on the Christian ultra right, and very much borders on racist. But I'm sure a supremacist or a Donald Trump could make an argument that what he's saying is not racist. But for people like me, I find it pretty right there. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, and all I was going to say about it is I wish I had the opportunity to ask him that question and understand better if it was taken out of context. So I definitely would look forward to checking that out, and if we're still having a conversation about it during the next few days, I think it'd be interesting to understand that better.
Thank you. And when I hop on a plane, if I see the captain is black, I'm not thinking about whether or not he's qualified. I'm thinking about the same thing if I see a white pilot. When was the last time he drank alcohol, and did he get 8 hours of sleep last night? That's the only thing I give a fuck about. Moose. Hi, Moose. Moose.
Steve? Yeah.
Hey, Moose.
How you doing, man? I agree. I 100% agree with what you just said.
Thank you.
I know there's some folks putting some stuff in the chat, that he was involved with meeting with other black leaders, that apparently he even tried to organize some black youth to get to the White House. So thereby, he can say whatever. That gives him a parent license, as if he's like a black comedian and he can go up on stage making, jokes about the black community.
Yeah, I heard him and Elon Musk had a special spaceship that whipped him out at the speed of light on the other side of Saturn to Titan to go visit with the aliens and come on back. No, I'm just right. Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, exactly, and I think it's really the biggest hurdle for me, the biggest leap where people are trying to justify his comment. It's infamous. One of his infamous comments of saying civil rights was a big mistake, but people that are defending that, saying it's not racist, are really trying to do a time warp leap and fast forward to today to DEI. And I loved your example of the pilot, right?
Yeah.
So back in civil rights era, you would never see it. Charlie Kirk would never walk onto any airplane and see a black pilot. He wouldn't walk into any business and see a black business owner. You wouldn't walk into any diner seeing black people sitting elbow to elbow to white people at the counter. Like, we're like civil rights, Jim Crow. Like, no. That's I think that's absolutely insulting to all the folks that had to experience those atrocities during civil rights and Jim Crow era.
I gotta tell you, when I die,
say, well, I'm gonna be suspect. If it's a
I don't expect anybody to come to the funeral. Now, one person, maybe a couple.
Especially a black airline pilot. Like, it's not like.
What I'm trying to say is, you can live your life as you say, but as you can see, after Oblivion, this is how you're treated.
I'm just gonna see, run it by the FAA and just to see if he can bypass the years of training. And just come on, do me a favor, because we need to make those stats. We need affirmative action for black pilots. It's like that is the absolute, like, him using that actually just kind of showed himself. It really did. If he said, like, well, we need more, black executives in tech, that's more believable as far as actually trying to say, what, the black person, he's not qualified. He's just a black pilot because he's black. He just somehow magically got past all the FAA requirements and hurdles to be responsible for flying 300 plus people daily. It's so I appreciate you saying that, Steve. And it's to be clear, yes, I'm obviously on the left, but that said, I am vehemently against the bullet. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. And I don't care if the shooter was on the left or on the right. I'm 100% against killing someone for using free speech. But that said, I do have respect and empathy for the black community who are not shedding a single tear. Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. And before we move on, let me just say this. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't care what age you are, 18 or over. I don't care your religion. Everybody has the chance to be an individual idiot with me. All you got to do is speak to me for 5 minutes, and believe me, I'll tell right away if you're an idiot. Beaver. Hi, Beaver. Hi, Beaver. Beaver once, Beaver don't trip over running to the phone. Beaver once, Beaver twice, Beaver 3 times. What a shame. Ron, we're almost at the top of the
Oh, Steve, if it's okay, can I just add, because I feel like I didn't ever get to finish.
Yeah, tell you what, Susanna, hang on. No, we'll go over time for you. Let me go back to Ron first and see if he wanted to speak or if he still wanted to wait. Ron, did you want to speak or did you still want to wait? He probably wants to continue waiting, which is fine. By the way, Susanna, I see you have that party hat. Did you just join Clubhouse within the past week, or were you gone for a while in a new account?
No, I'm new. I have friends.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Just so you don't know, I just started doing these pop-up rooms, critical thinking after party. This is only the second time, but I've been doing the weekend show on Saturday, Ask Uncle Steve with the Mod Squad, and Sunday, Ask the Atheist for like 4 years. So hopefully you'll join us then. But please contribute now.
Okay, well, it would be my pleasure. I can see we actually disagree on quite a bit, but I appreciate how you are a moderator. Anyway.
You mean you don't think I interrupt too much? You don't think I'm stupid? You don't think I have a low IQ? Imagine that.
I've only witnessed you briefly, but no, I do not. But I do feel like I was interrupted before. But anyway, let me just say what I was going to say, continue where I left off. My point was not about where Candace stands and all of that. My point was, I feel that a lot of these things that Charlie Kirk said that are taken as racist are taken out of context. I believe there is a nuance for if it's based on DEI, and I don't think that's the same thing as being quite as much based on skin color. And really, the thing that I was trying to get at was he has done things. He started this thing called the Black Summit, and he's a leadership type program. I'm not exactly sure 100% what it was, but this program for youth, specifically aimed for Black people, Black children, and he's even taken young Black people to the White House so they could tour. He's worked with a lot of Black leaders. A lot of Black leaders are memorializing him, and one among them is Angela Stanton King, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, and you can find her on Instagram or wherever, and she called Charlie Kirk out for saying things about Martin Luther King Jr., and he did say Martin Jr. was a bad person, but he was feeling, but there's context there too. It wasn't because Martin Luther King Jr. was Black, it's because he felt that he had some Marxist ideas. And so Angela Stanton King called Charlie Kirk out saying that wasn't appropriate, she didn't like it. But then when he died, not only did she say it's not right to kill him, she further said that he was a truth teller, and that he spoke the truth, and she was with him on some of what he said, that they disagreed, but and she definitely didn't call him a racist. So I feel that people who knew him, and people who did actually listen to him in full context and saw that he worked with Black people. He has this guy that he knew since he was 12 years old, who's a Black guy, who also was involved with Turning Point and different things. And he's talking out about how I've known him since I was 12 and I've always been Black. And so, I mean, and I was saying before, because someone has one Black friend, people go, oh, well, you can't prove they're not a racist. But I find it really hard that once there's an accusation such as racism, it's really easy to quote someone out of context and come up with a lot of evidence, especially when it's sound bites and it's little things, than it is to counter that. Once an accusation like that is made, it's really hard to say any differently, no matter what. And so I feel like it's really unfair that he says something based on DEI or whatever, but if you listen to him enough and listen to how he has helped or been there for the Black community, and then see what he does say that seems racist, but in full context and full meaning. I don't know. I just feel like it bothers me because I feel like he's not being well represented, and people are judging him based on these partial truths. And that's what bothers me about it. And that's my piece. Thank you for letting me get it out.
It is my pleasure. Before we move on, let me say this, that a lot of times when someone such as you says that I interrupt them, I let them go completely without interrupting them, no matter what. I'll just take umbrage with one thing that you said, that he's not being fairly represented. And that is that although on Clubhouse and Facebook and X he may not be representative, he's got the president and the vice president of the United States representing him. And that to me is pretty powerful, but that's cool.
Can I add one thing to Susanna?
Let me just respond to that, and then you can. Let me just respond to that really quick. Yes, but also there's a lot of animosity towards the president of the United States these days. But thank you, Steve. I don't believe it was you that was.
No. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you.
Okay, and then whoever else
I just wanted to layer on also as people. That's why I wanted the girl to define a white supremacist for me, because if she was defining it as someone who lines up with the Klan, I wanted to state how devastated the Jewish community was by his death. And we issued a statement from the Republican Jewish Coalition about how shocked we were and that we're grieving, and what a dear friend. We worked very closely with his organization in the last cycle, in the last election. The statement that we issued, I figure out how to put it in the chat. I just have the screenshot of it. Was a beautiful statement talking about him being a fearless advocate for freedom and a supporter of Israel and the Jewish people. He was a friend. He spent a lot of time in Israel and also with our community in the United States. So just to piggyback, people can paint him with a very broad brush, as the girl did before, calling him a supremacist. But I wanted to share another minority community that is made up of white, brown, and Black people that are all part of our community. And he was a very, very good supporter. Someone to add that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And what we're going to do now, because we're OT, we're going to let everybody that hasn't had a chance to speak, and then we'll be moving you down. No disrespect. So let's go to Hanson. Hanson, you want to take a minute and any closing thoughts, or are you good, Hanson?
Almost. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much good. But I'm just saying that the market would have taken care of all the transactions and pricing, and the government going in there with a systematic racist policy, it can only make things worse. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Hanson. Appreciate that. Next up, let's go Necro. Necro, did you closing thoughts? 60 seconds. We good? Necro?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't listening.
That's okay, no problem.
I mean, I guess really it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, nothing really much from what I said earlier, other than basically that, it's like the same people who I've heard who have been saying that people should be in prison for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Like, you have to remember, like, it's like that we celebrate the death of Nazis, the death of terrorists, and so the same, right that gives us to celebrate the death of our enemies, like, gives us to other people to celebrate the death. And yeah, it's like.
Thanks, Necro. Let's see. Steve Wade, did you want to say goodbye? Steve Wade?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out one thing about the pilot thing. I used to work for a Fortune 100 company, and I was the lead trainer and the senior operator of a very dangerous type chemical operation. And we had a DEI thing come in where people wanted to push this one particular person to start operating this plant, which had the capability to blow you to kingdom come. as the lead operator and chief trainer of the department, I warned them against it. They totally ignored my recommendation. Went on to push them through. We had explosion. Luckily, the explosion wasn't bad enough that no one got killed. People could have got killed. And they just totally ignored all the advice from the senior people that told them that this person was unqualified to be behind the controls. And luckily, no one died from the incident.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Let's see. Next, JCS. JCS, you want to say goodbye?
Oh, yeah, thank you. You know, I certainly think that Charlie Kirk held some racist beliefs, but he was a paid provoker. That was his job, to provoke. Some things have been taken out of context. I think he's certainly far more known now than he was when he was alive. But again, that was his job as a political influencer. And so, you know, I'll leave it here in saying that, you know, we all hold biases. And so some people take advantage and weaponize them, exploit opportunities. Yes, he did that, and it would be expected of someone in that role. So it doesn't really surprise me, but he certainly didn't deserve to be dead. I'm done.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's try Ron. Ron, did you want to say goodbye or hello or anything, or are you good? We're closing down the show. Ron, you unmuted a couple of times. I muted you in the past minute. Yeah, hi. Did you want to say goodbye or are you good?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks. I've been tuning in every couple of days to Clubhouse and been very disenchanted with the quality of the discussions. And this session rehabilitated all of Clubhouse for me.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. It's good to have you back on board, and hopefully you'll come to the weekend show. I don't know if you've tried that, but Saturday and Sunday, going strong after 4.5 years, 7 to 10 a.m. PST. Love to have you. Thanks, Ron. And let's try Beaver. Beaver, do you want to say goodbye? Closing thoughts, Beaver. Beaver going once, Beaver going twice. Okay, Beaver. Well, thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong. You guys told me earlier. Jing, Zhang, Quang. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
I've been hearing parts of the conversation off and on, and I just, you know, I don't expect for people to feel things that don't impact them. I know that there are instances when they do and they respond to the full veracity or the full power that they have to organize and push back against people they don't agree with, even if whether they're being explicitly biased or not, that happens. But I just want to remind people to keep in mind, since we're about a generation removed, maybe 2 generations now removed from legal segregation, that if you review the record, even if you review the modern record, because these people still exist, when you hear people talk about their Black friends, even their Black children, right? We know that this is nothing new, that even in the deepest of southern towns, in the most segregated and virulently racist cities and towns, that people even would sleep with people that they would not have dinner with. They would be sharing literal blood relations and last names and all of these things. This is the American story. It is American history. And, you know, by the sounds of it, I think that a lot of people, because they haven't been taught that history, we forget that, yeah, you can have a Black friend and be a white supremacist. It's totally not only probable, it's totally feasible, probable, and all of that, because that's been the case since the beginning. I mean, you know, Black women nursed their slave owners' children. Our relations were that intimate when it comes
black slave women bore their slave owners' children, such as Thomas Jefferson. Please continue.
Exactly. So, I think that as a person who is a part of a marginalized group and have had to walk in this classification of myself all of my life in America, I will say that when I interact with people, and I always withhold judgment until I hear how a person talks, because again, being that this is our history, we know the narratives, we know the tropes, we know the stereotypes. And so sure, if I hear a political figure using the same tropes and narratives that were spewed by David Duke, for instance, I might make that association, right? If I hear the same tropes, and again, these tropes are the same, about affirmative action, about DEI, which is not an affirmative action program, and applies to veterans, it applies to neurodivergent people. DEI is nothing more than a mechanism to enable corporations or any type of institution, if they decide that diversity is a core value for them, it enables them to measure how effective they are in creating that culture in their workspace. It's basically a way to gather and interpret statistics about how closely you are to living your values as you are to just saying stuff, right? So, and that is DEI, literally. It came out of the corporate citizenship movement that was really big around the early 2000s, which I guess, fuck that, right? We don't care anymore. Again, perhaps never did. Because
Are you sure that's where it came from? We don't have the time to go into where I think it came from, but are you sure? Okay, all right.
And I know that because I participate in several corporations that I've worked at. I've helped them, and I'm an engineer. I'm not an HR person, but I've had conversation with our C-suite officers about these programs.
I'm gonna give you 60 more seconds because we're
So empathy is putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and so keep that in mind when you're hearing people talk about another person's capacity to do basic ass shit like fly planes and perform surgery and all of these other very like seriously, anybody can be mediocre, anybody can be an innovator, anybody can be proficient, period. And it has nothing to do with whether or not they've been excluded, because systematically that's the way a society performed. A lot of the engineers that are coming from India could not hold those positions because of the marginalization that happens in India because of their caste system. It happens. It's life. So, let's be real when we talk about, how to interpret people's views and not, forget our ability to compare and contrast when we hear these things, especially when it comes to the lionization of public figures, whether they're social media influencers or not. Call a thing a thing.
Thank you. And before we move on, I want to remind everybody, I'm terribly sorry, I can't remember her name, but it was a black woman at the start of NASA that basically helped get them off the ground. Susanna, would you like a minute? Say goodbye. Susanna.
Sorry, still getting.
That's all right. That's okay. No problem.
I had a few questions for the last speaker, and they're rhetorical. But just if you are against DEI, does that make someone Does that make someone racist?
I will answer that for me. The answer is absolutely no. What's the next question from yours?
All right, thank you. And then the next one is, yes. Are we in the same place as we were in the year 2000?
I'll answer that one. In my humble opinion, the answer is no. Would you like to go 0 for 3 or 3 for 3?
No, I had a third one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm blanking on what it was. Hold on, I wrote them down in the chat. Let me read it really quick.
You should have wrote them down on a Post-it.
Oh, and then the last one
yes.
was, she mentioned how diversity is a core value. And I do think diversity is important, but not above and beyond merit and ability. So my last one was, is diversity a core value and merit and ability is not? I think diversity should not be a core value. It should be a secondary, not core value.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to move you down, and then I'm going to answer that one too. You know, you don't qualify to be a fireman unless you can pull a 250-pound person out of a fire and safety. And for that matter, I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care if you're man or woman. If you can do it, you can do it. If I'm running a sales company and you're bringing me in millions of dollars in gross profit, I don't care what your skin color, religion, or whatever it is, as long as it doesn't interfere with business. But to answer your question, I always try and take everything in consideration. In fact, I'm having dinner with someone tomorrow, considering whether or not I want to recommend them to my boss for a job. Now, this is very important to me because if the boss likes her and he hires her, it's a star. It's a star for me. If the boss doesn't like her and wonders what the hell is Appel doing referring her to me for a job, then it makes me look bad. I'm going to take everything into consideration, not the color of her skin, not her religion, but how she grew up, what she's been doing lately, what we can hopefully expect from her in the future, but most importantly, how she communicates. Does she communicate with a 6th grade talking level, 5th grade, like Donald Trump? Or does she communicate like a college-educated, on-the-ball person, even if she didn't graduate college? I take everything into consideration. So in that respect, I'm pro-DEI. I'm not what was the other one that was meant? Affirmative action. I don't believe just because of your skin color, you deserve an extra leg up. But if you take skin color, the way you were raised, what type of upbringing you have, and everything together, I'm totally pro that. So in that regard, my definition, I'm totally pro DEI. But that being said, Daryl, you were here at the start, then you left. You're here now. Would you like to say goodbye, Daryl?
Yeah, I wanted to say 2 things can be true as long as they don't contradict each other. As a matter of fact, up to 10 things, 100 things can be true, as long as those 100 things don't contradict each other, right? And so I'm going to, specifically to Susanna, some of the stuff that was happening in the chat, Susanna, you kept saying that certain things were facts, right? And you know, a fact, according to Merriam-Webster, is something that is known or proven to be true. And I don't think you understand that some of the things you were saying were not actually facts. They're just your opinions on things, particularly the idea that just seeing someone doing a certain job, the assumption that they got the job through DE&I is not a fact, no matter how many times you say it's a fact, right? And then Steve, who left the room, comes up with this lame thing about an explosion at a plant in West Virginia that has nothing to do with pilots. So I don't even understand what the point was. It's just the idea that I am stuck in my position. I'm going to do the best I can to defend my position. Facts be damned. That's all I wanted to say.
Trust me, when people accuse me of interrupting, when people accuse me of being rude, when people accuse me of having a low IQ, Trust me, it has nothing to do with my skin color, my religion, or fact that I'm an old white Jewish atheist. It's simply because they don't like Uncle Steve. And with that, let's go to JCC. Would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, of course. Great room, great conversation. And so Steve looks for good oral skills in a female. That's what I got for what you were saying, man. I was like, damn, Steve, you go. No, man, I love these conversations and a great room. Sorry, there's a few sore suckers out there that get, rubbed the wrong way or whatever, but that's going to be the case, right? But great room.
This ain't no echo chamber, baby. We encourage everybody to talk, but when you talk, you open yourself up to some Uncle Steve. Abby.
Yeah. Last words.
Yeah.
Great room. I think that you have to look and take the temperature of the country. Yep. And 77 million people elected the president that's in there now. And Charlie Kirk had a lot to do with it.
Yep.
I applaud the various ball teams around the country that did a tribute to him. And I applaud the different concert venues that did a tribute to him. And there's a lot of Americans that are feeling this. And it's not a political thing that they're feeling. Someone was assassinated, and it hurts, and it just wounds our nation. And that's what people are reacting to. And let's hope that we heal through this wound and we never have to experience an assassination again.
I agree with very little of what Charlie Kirk stood for, but I feel pain that he was assassinated. Last but not least, Scott Jones. Jonesy, are you there?
Uncle Steve, great room. Thank you for the dialogue. I think it is interesting, though, that one of the things that, so much of the rhetoric, and it's rhetoric like this on both sides, right? Yeah. But so much of the rhetoric in the Trump era has been own the libs, drink the liberal peers. And Charlie Kirk was part of that. He was, as Dr. George said, a paid provocateur, right? He was not always known for playing nice in the sandbox. And so now it's interesting. I think that's part of what made him popular, that he played hardball, that he mixed it up and could get pretty in your face about it.
Do you think that's part of what makes me popular? I mean, we've heard some of the critics, legitimately so. I interrupt, I raise my voice, I have a low IQ. Part of that make me popular?
Uncle Steve, so much makes you popular. And if you've never had the real life Uncle Steve experience, you're missing out. I'm going to go back this year to Casa de Papel, do some of the show live.
If any of you want to buy me a martini and sit down and talk with me for an hour, I promise I won't interrupt you as much as I do on the show,
He's the man. Uncle Steve, you're the man. Yeah, but it's just interesting. I find it. Charlie Kirk made his life as a provocateur, and I think it's interesting that sometimes his defenders want to say nothing he said was provocative. I mean, that's kind of interesting dynamic. But great.
He was an expert at what he did. Let me tell you, it really, truly was. And with that, for those of you that haven't heard me before, I know a lot of you have. We do the regular show, 4.5 years going strong, Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Ask Uncle Steve on Saturday. Ask the Atheist on Sunday. It's run completely different than this room. We have clips, we have breaks, we have fun, we have regulars that come in, and we always starting in with the song. But in this pop-up room, we just started up with dead air, and we end it with this room will self-destruct. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be careful on the clubhouse streets.
Yeah, Harry, I sent you a better version of your PTR. It's more brighter.
So later, what's up? You came up, let's see.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How was everything? How was the little girl? How's she doing?
She's good. She's almost 3.
Now, no?
Almost 3.
Almost 3, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost 1 year on the way 8 months, so it's everything different.
Yeah, thanks for asking. You here?
Thank you.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Hey.
Abby. Shlomi, I'm going to be there. בשרוש, ואחרי ראש.
אחרי ראש?
כן. כן. אחרי ראש. לפני יום, אחרי ראש.
אוקיי.
אני שם.
צריך למצוא זמן, אחרי סוכות ראשון אני flying to Prague.
Okay.
So we need to find it.
Where are you going?
To Prague.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
America, Canada, anywhere.
What's the name of that synagogue in Prague? The Altanu? My Yiddish is not good.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna visit it, and when I will be there, I will let you know. I really don't.
I think it's like one of the oldest in Europe, but it's where the Golem is from. The whole mystery of the Golem is in Prague.
Interesting. I need to read about it before I go. Like to be like with knowledge about the place when I see things.
How much time will you have there?
It's we are going like 6 couples. 5 of them are from the Otef of Gaza, like the surrounding kibbutzes of Gaza that survived the 7th of October, and I'm coming as a hostage that survived it. And it's also groups of treatment, a little bit of healing, and it's, I think, for 9 days, something like that.
Long enough. I'm going to send you a link. There's an amazing, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
There's an amazing castle. It's about 45 minutes from the city, and it's where the family who, Ferdinand, I can't think of the shot that started World War I, that family lived, but the guy was the largest collector in the world of suits of armor, and also he had, so the whole castle is lined with like tigers and bears and like just all the trophies from hunting. It's an extraordinary place. I'll find the link for it. But just the armor and the swords and the all the relics that are there are very cool. But it was the family of the guy who was killed that started World War I. Ferdinand something. I can't think of the last name.
Now, Abby, here's a name for you. Could it be Gabriel Princip?
No. No. Who started who was the one that was shot in World War I?
Franz Ferdinand.
Around the world. Who?
Franz Ferdinand and
Thank you.
Gabriel Princip was issues.
So that's his.
Wait, were they friends? Franz
Ferdinand was the Austrian prince, and Gabriel Princip was a Serbian nationalist.
But I'm seeing here that Gabriel Princip assassinated Archduke. He assassinated Franz Ferdinand.
Yes.
Heir presumptive to the throne of Austria-Hungary.
And where did Franz Ferdinand?
So Franz Ferdinand was the Archduke.
It was in Sarajevo. I'm 90% sure.
Yes, the assassination was in Sarajevo. So I'm trying to connect it to the Prague castle that Abby is talking about. I don't know.
Which castle?
Is it? What, Abby, are you there?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Is it Ludwig
What is
castle?
I'm sure she's right. I was trying to be helpful when I said Gabriel Princip. I thought I was helping. But anyway, all right. Well, either way, it sounds cool. I mean, it's 45 minutes south near Prague.
I've never seen anything like this in all my travels in Europe. These balconies, this place is crazy. Just what the guy collected.
I'm Googling this.
Was it in middle of the forest? Huh?
Was it in the middle of a forest in a very high, I would say, place, or?
It's in like a little town. It's actually a cute town to like then after you tour it, you go lunch.
Okay, here we go. The most prominent collection of arms and armor near Prague is found at Lobkowicz Palace, located within Prague Castle itself. This private collection is one of the oldest and finest in Europe, has 1,200 pieces from the 16th to the 20th century, including guns, cannon, armor, and mounted trophies. I don't know, it sounds like there's a lot to do there.
Yeah,
but Prague Castle.
All the stuff that he shot, like there's all these bears and tigers, the taxidermy is insane in this book.
Sounds cool. Sounds like a great trip, Shlomi.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's something that we wanted to do, and we're doing also. Yeah. To go to Prague to see Prague. It's a different place anyway.
No, I've been hearing about Prague forever. I've never been. Sounds amazing.
City, really a country that helped so much in the founding of the state of Israel, and they've just always been supportive. And did you ever see Nancy Spielberg's movie Above and Beyond?
No.
About the founding of the Israeli Air Force and how these pilots that were U.S. veterans from World War II started the Air Force there, and they smuggled planes and pieces of fuselage, pieces of planes, and there's certain countries they were able to use to get the equipment into Israel, and Czechoslovakia was one.
Did you ever see the movie Cast the Giant Shadow?
Oh my God.
Douglas.
God. Did I love that movie?
Yes. Yeah, that is a movie about a guy named Mickey Marcus, Colonel Mickey Marcus, an American Jewish colonel who came over to Israel to help start it.
He built the Burma Road, which is really... Have you ever taken a Jeep ride on the Burma Road? It's pretty cool to do.
Yeah.
It's neat, but Frank Sinatra was in that movie.
Yeah, it's like an all-star movie from the 60s. It's a biopic. It's a movie about this guy, Mickey Marcus. His full name was David Michael Marcus, and Kirk Douglas played him. And they got Frank Sinatra, John Wayne. All the cameos in this movie are insane. Remember, there would be two movies like that. They would have like huge actors in small parts. Yul Brynner, John Wayne, Frank Sinatra. I forgot who else. A lot of small parts in this movie.
A trivia thing about that movie, because I heard you too. It was the first movie Michael Douglas had like a bit part in.
Oh my God! Wow, Michael Douglas was in it too. Wow. Now I'm pulling it up. I think it's time to remake that movie. Angie Dickinson. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot she was in it too. It was a really amazing cast.
Yeah, it's time to remake it. Directed, Melville Shavelson. I never heard of him for anything else. See if we have anyone. Oh, Topol. Topol is in it. That may be it. I mean, there's a bunch of other names. I don't recognize them. But right there, that's like 8 big names from the U.S. or plus Topol. Yeah, Michael Douglas is in here, uncredited. He plays a Jeep driver. How about the movie Exodus?
Guys, I thought about something now that if the Palestinians are claiming every time that there are Jewish settlements inside their territory, so-called West Bank. But in every day they live among and they drive in the same roads. And let's say if we make peace, why they want those people that live there when they lived with them until now, like in a peaceful way, and they live together, village by village, that want them out from the territory because they are Jewish. So I can claim the same thing about the Arab villages that I have in my country because they are Arabs. Like this is empty cleansing, like for my place, like they'll literally will kick those people out from their land because they are Jewish. So why I cannot do it at the same time when they are doing that for villages in Israel that are Muslim Arabs? But no, we are on high levels of laws on the world, and they're allowed to do anything they want.
What are we hearing about the other hostages? And I heard in the last 48 hours about trying to use them as shields, and Trump making a statement about it.
I'm not going to sleep because of that. No, it's hard for me. And then Buttercup came here, and when we had a discussion, and she pulled me in, and for 2 hours of speaking, and I lost my sleep also. Now I'm trying to go sleep again.
Go to sleep.
It's almost 5 a.m.
Shlomi, get some sleep. Get some sleep. And I hope that everyone has now seen the face of Buttercup, and it's enough already.
It's not about Buttercup, it's more the hostages. And like I said,
but we don't need her to make it worse.
That's right.
No, I've asked that question.
She's not a good faith actor. She's not acting in good faith.
Let me answer Abby, Randy. Don't. She's not the subject, and we don't care. Let's move on from her. I just mentioned about my sleeping. She ruined my sleep also. Anyways, it's
Shlomi. Yeah, Shlomi, we love you.
And I will feel tired to go. Wait.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You're gonna be sleeping the whole day.
I know. I am going to sleep.
So maybe, anyways, it's like I said earlier, you weren't here. I don't know if it's not the operation that they released me. I was still there, and I don't know how it with my wife, my father, my mother, my sisters, my how do you say it for girls? Nieces, 2 nieces, beautiful nieces that I have, and the rest friends of and family that will feel when they know that it's probably the end. And it's taking a lot of thinking and praying inside to hear good news on the way when they're going in to find hostages and taking them back home alive. And I hope that Hamas will say, okay, let's stop, let's make a real deal that will be good for both sides, because there is the Israeli country also, and there is the people of the hostages, there's the life of the hostages and the lives of the soldiers on the battlefield. So we'll stop this war, because also I'm worried about those people. There are families that are worried also about their children that are in the battlefield. It's not only the hostages. Yeah, the hostages have the chance to die more than a soldier in the battle. Like, it's not comparable, but still there are families that also are worried about them that are in the battlefield. So it's so complicated, and as I say, when they're asking me after I do tell my story to people when I'm going and lecturing it, that I'm glad it's not me that have to decide between lives of people, of hostages, of soldiers in the battlefield, and the states of Israel on the scales. I'm happy I'm not the one to take the decision for it, because it's a hard decision, and to make my opinion on it, it's hard also because I don't know what's on the table for real. But I know that anyway, lives of people are on the stake, like from here and there. If there's the hostages and if there's the soldiers. So to end the war as soon as possible, and just to give us some people back. That's what I want. My friends that are still there, that I know personally, and the rest that are still alive, that I don't know personally. And that's it. We will end this fucking nightmare that is also already 2 years. Like, it's a nightmare. It's a big nightmare.
Thank you for the answer.
I have to leave you, lovely people, to all of you, and you'll have a talk kol hazman. I appreciate you.
Grateful for leaving.
Thank you. It's not about
Mad Abby, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's about Israel. It's about the country.
Where is
it's
Abby?
about us.
You can mod me
I'm
if you want to keep the room open.
Yeah, please. Yes, but did I make the right one, Jay?
Perfect.
Shlomi,
No
it's
problem.
good to hear you, Shlomi. I'm glad you came in here. Please
Yes, Shlomi.
come
Let me
again.
try to get some sleep.
Yeah.
I will smoke another joint.
All right, if you can't.
Okay, Shlomi. Do what you have to. Thank
When
you
we
for
were still
sharing.
here, if you want to talk.
Lala Tov, Shlomi. Thank you.
Good night.
Tודה רבה.
Good night. Good night.
Abby, you're out.
I'm going to be in, where the restaurants are here. It's pretty noisy where I'm about to walk into.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll be a little bit on my car ride. And Caleb in the audience, how about those Phillies?
Did they win?
We're just talking. They're going to go in the postseason. I mean, it's a good time to be a Philly sports fan. The last few years.
The thing of the paddocks is it's gonna happen, or it's gonna be like a
the race.
No, the race. I know that I'm gonna go to the race anyways. Like
We're starting to build again. We rip it down every year, and then we put. It's a crazy thing, and then we put things back, and now we rip stuff down again, and we put up all these stands and build it back up again.
Okay.
What were you asking?
I'm asking if it will be the paddocks or like a regular one.
That's what I'm hoping is the paddock. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I will enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean the paddocks are it's multi-level. So yes, I most certainly think that's where it'd be. Other than there, it would be at one of the properties, right along the track.
Yeah, I know. I saw how it goes. I'm really like you are with hockey and with F1. I'm a big fan of it.
Do you know, it's a funny story. You know the guy it was right after October 7th, because you didn't know this. He was on the news in the U.S. every day. Kornikas, you know, from the Sakal, Kornikas, Jonathan Kornikas. So he would be on CNN and on Fox as the go-to spokesman of Sakal. When I met him, same time I went to Nurim, where Adele is, before the 7th, the June before, and our team was going into the Stanley Cup, and we were all over there during the playoffs. It was making us crazy. We had at 4:00 in the morning find places we could watch the game that would, televise it. So we're talking to him. He took us into the tunnels. There was a tunnel that they opened and it would bring a lot of media and people from other countries to see near not far from Beirut. But anyway, he took us in there and we're talking to him, and I didn't know he was from Sweden originally, and he was an ice hockey player. And we started to learn about all these ice hockey players in Israel. Obviously a lot from Russia that had immigrated, but it's become a popular sport. And up near you, I think, Shlomi, there's a ice rink.
Wow, great story, Abby. Fucking must be really bored.
I don't know, Harry, you know about it.
I don't think Harry's here, Abby. Like he's here, but he's not here.
Anyway, ice hockey's become popular there. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Fuck, Abby. Nobody cares.
He was the spokesman for the idea.
Get a life, Abby.
No.
Big guy, real big guy.